Ndị be anyị ekele m unu n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị sị na ya dịrị ndị Igbo na mma. Dịka o si dị, ihe a bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ana Igbo and Igbo community and ihe debe na Nigeria. Ya bụ ife ka anyị na-ewetara unu na Igbo Media. Dịka isi wee na-esonye anyị, ọ bụ na nke a bụ ụbọchị izizi gị ị na-abịa n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media. Ekpa ka you subscribe and turn on your notification ka you miss any of our updates dịka anyị na-etikwu ya n'iru akwụkwọ kwa mgbe. Dịka o si dị, o nwere ya wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si ada and gbasara maka ka ya bụ ife si akpọtụ n'ala Igbo. Biko mma achọ ka ige ya bụ ife. Ihe bụ ihe BIAFRA Chief of Staff bụ Ngozi Orabueze kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ka o si ada na Finland and gbasara maka Biafran Prime Minister Maazị Simon Ekpa. So igecha ya bụ ife idropụra ife iche n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe bụ ife ndị a niile okwu. All right, over to you.
So much information from the Prime Minister of what this struggle is, where it's going, what every individual in this struggle and how he sees those individuals. I think that has really helped. Again, it is also based on the trust in the leadership, and whom I believe the Prime Minister knows. He knows. Again, when I keep telling people, I've been in the leadership of this United States of Biafra government for a long time. So it's not just what happened when our Prime Minister was taken away. And like I said, our Prime Minister does not really need to do what he did. He does not need to mention my name as a surrogate. No, he doesn't need to do that, because I've been there all the way. Unless it's not something that is important in this struggle, unless it's not something that matters, I know it. Anything that is important to the declaration of this struggle, anything that is important to the leadership of the United States of Biafra, anything that matters to establish our nation, I'm there all the way. Whether I'm in meetings or I'm not in meetings, I am there all the way. So I think that is what gives me the strength, what gives me the hope, because again, I will not know what the Prime Minister wants, and then I will allow some people to distort that, to just criminalize that, to deviate. Because if I allow them to deviate, they will drag us like 5-10 years back. That is why that will never happen, and I will never allow that to happen. Because if the Prime Minister will ever allow any of these individuals to come close to the leadership, he knows they've already derailed. They have nothing to offer except gossips and trying to pretend as if there's something, and just trying to distort and just disturb some of us that are really doing the work. There's just so much information I have, but I just don't have to. And these individuals, they know, they really know. So it's either out of just sheer jealousy or just pettiness or just that, I don't even know the word to use. They continue to do what they're doing. Like I said, even when the Prime Minister was around, they know where the game is. They know those that make things happen. They know that. But either they don't want to, or because they think the way they manipulate or pretend or think they manipulate the Prime Minister to just keep on going along, flowing along with them, despite the craziness and the stupidity that some of them bring to the table, and the Prime Minister just continue to manage them and just try to just make them feel relevant. Some, even when they know they have nothing, they are so irrelevant. So it's just the point where it is just dangerous to just allow that kind of leadership to continue. Like somebody, I read something when somebody said the suspension of some people didn't help things. So the suspension of the suspension by the Prime Minister. So again, that's just what I can say. But the Prime Minister knows. He knows, and he knows where this United States of Biafra government needs to be at each step of the way. And I think that knowledge is just what makes every other thing that is not in line with that, it makes it fraudulent and it makes it fake. So that's just the answer to that. Thank you.
Next person is Great Honorable Fulani. Great Honorable Fulani. And DPM FYI, that's the last person, but I have other hands that just joined. That was the 15th person, but I have.
Yeah, you think I make it fast because we'll be here since
all day. All right. Okay, Great Honorable Fulani. Maybe he's sleeping. Okay.
Unmute yourself, please.
Maybe he's sleeping. Honorable Drak.
And Honorable Drak.
Drak, your turn then. Oh, yes, hold on for Honorable Fulani.
Hello,
yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Number one, let me address one person, Emeka. Let me quickly say, Chinedu, I have a younger brother, Chinedu, but let me address him as my younger brother. Number one is that you came to ask questions and you told the person you are asking question that he is not in charge. Then why did you bring forth your question? That is just a question Chinedu should go and answer. Two, I want to quickly say that please, the Secretary to Defense, please, I want to, am I being heard?
Yes.
Am I being heard?
Yes.
Okay. I want to please encourage that in your meeting with commanders, please educate them more. Educate them more. That for their own good, sometimes they may misunderstand this issue of do not answer calls. Do not answer calls. Because Nigerian defense forces have seen that coming to them man to man is difficult. Coming to them man to man is not possible. Coming to them man to man is something they can't break through. Therefore, they are using this IT forensic device to track their numbers and lure them, cajole them, manipulate them into killing them, taking them one after the other. And please encourage them. It's even better, especially those who have mistakenly been connected with this Adomago. You know, these people that have calls with Adomago should destroy their phones. Because if the phone of Adomago has been hacked, their numbers and everything about them had equally been tampered with, and they can be traced anywhere. You might think you want to just go home and rest, go to the other point and have a rest, and you don't know that you are being tracked. Because having hacked the phone number of Adron in France means that any other person, this could be in connection with others, is alleged, but I'm just assuming. So that is that on that. Then I want to ask a question, Ma. Ma, what have you to say with Elias, who have come recently to insult our women on wearing costly materials? A man who has employed to work has refused to work, but come to tell us our history. The rubbish she was talking, we know our history. That is why we want to depart. We want to move away. We want to go to our land. You don't need to come and repeat our history to us. Then at the same time, you are indirectly insulting our women. Sometimes we have to write because we're a nation. We have to caution him. If you have no report about the business you are employed to do for us, go home and keep your mouth shut. Before some people will come and say, "Ah, we don't have to insult him." He is insulting our women. He is insulting the Igbos. That they wear costly material, they do this. Is that the job we are employed to do? Is that what you are employed to do? It is the nature. It's our. You should know that our custom demands that we take good care of our wives. We will make them look good. They are real. Interpret this to him. Now, I want to say finally, I want to ask finally, with the way these guys are dishing out lies, volume of lies, is there any hope of seeing our Prime Minister anytime soon? That is what I want to say. And once again, I want to say, may God keep you. May God keep all the cabinet members, and may God keep all genuine Biafrans, and especially the Biafran army. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I hear more of comments, so I don't know if you have any specific question for me. And thank you so much for those clarifications and all that about our. Again, I will say again, the Biafran army, they are not on the phone. Those people that say they talk with this army, talk with this commander, talk with this one, the people they are claiming or telling you they are talking to, they are not the army of the United States of Biafra government. Again, I have to be very, very clear on that. So when all these deceitful individuals come to say they talk to this, they talk to that, they talk to no. Our Biafran army are one of the best in the world. I'm telling you, the series of training these men and women go through on a weekly basis, you will be so shocked. That is why when you hear them talk, you will know that these are strong human beings talking. So again, I hear what you say about phone and all that, but again, our men are not on the phone. I don't know. The last one, you second to the last. I don't know if that was a question or you just made a comment.
Yeah, it was a question.
So I didn't get the question. What was the question?
I said, is there any step to take to caution a man who has refused to do what he was assigned to do, rather than to come and insult our culture and our women? Because the last broadcast he gave was more like insulting our women. He has come to tell us our tradition. If he should hit us to our nerves, our women go about wearing costly clothes and jewelries and all that. So is there anything that the government should address him on that, to focus on what he asked him to do? But if you have nothing to offer, he should remain silent forever. And the last question is there any hope of our seeing our Prime Minister anytime soon, considering the volume of lies with his men? Because the volume of lies seems as if dishing out these lies, after all, is not coming out anytime soon. That is the last question, the second and the last question I asked.
Again, yeah, I got the last question, the second to the last, I didn't get it. So as far as our PM case is concerned, we are still waiting to see how this is going to end between Finland, the United States of Biafra, and the Nigeria state, terrorist state. Finland has no right to be doing what they are doing. It is very clear to all Biafrans right now that what Finland is doing is a calculated effort, calculated attempt to stop us from doing what we're doing, to stop the full declaration of the United States of Biafra. So those criminals that were initially telling you Biafrans, oh, don't worry, leave Finland alone, they are doing good, they are protecting our prime minister. So when you have illiterates and mediocres being part of a system, you can see how that system is going to end up. And that's why we're trying as much as possible to make sure we sieve and remove these stones from the real food and all that, and throw them in the trash where they belong. So we are waiting, again, from our international attorneys that have been on this, there's a couple of infringement on the right of our Prime Minister, which they are working on, and I'm not going to be open, I'm not going to tell all that publicly, but our international attorneys are working day and night to ensure that the right of our Prime Minister is well protected, is not infringed upon by Finland, which they've been trying to do all along. So once that is not an answer I can give you, Prime Minister is, we'll see him tomorrow on this, but I tell you, the United States of BIAFRA government is on top of this case full time. So that is the answer to that.
Yeah, second to the last question is there any reason to address Elias on why he should leave his job and come to address Biafran, tell us about our culture, our history, and at the same time, support our women. If you listen to his last broadcast, he was almost insulting our women.
I got the question.
Yes.
Again, I got that question. So again, when you have mediocres that they don't even know their value, they don't know their worth, when you have them, and then you have this individual that absolutely can't offer much in our culture, in our tradition, in our religion, in the things, our way of life, coming out publicly to kind of abuse the Biafrans, kind of trying to show us a holier than thou attitude, trying to tell us how we have to live our life, what we are, what the kings and the queens, just an outright individual, a mediocre that has nothing, doesn't know about the integrity and the culture of the United States of Biafra indigenous. So what that individual is doing, he is based on what the people he's associating with allows him to do. So that's where you allow them to be at the level where they are. I mean, we cannot help them. The United States of Biafra government cannot help individuals that parade themselves with all these mediocres on the social media, trying to explain what they do not know. He cannot exhibit that kind of nuance, that kind of insult. He can't do that if he is in the table of the United States of Biafra cabinet or in the United States of Biafra government. No, he dare not. He dare not. He cannot do that. But because he walks around, moves around with all these nincompoops and mediocres, again, what do you expect? He cannot come around, fly on air, and say whatever he did. As far as this government is concerned, he has been relieved. The company that hired him with that contract has been terminated. So anything he's doing now, he's doing it with the people that he's just an unofficial basis that he's romancing. But definitely, whatever he said is irrelevant as far as the United States government is concerned. That's my answer to that. Next.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your response.
You're welcome.
Yes. My greetings to my indomitable DPM, a woman that cannot be defeated, a woman chosen by the God of Biafra to lead us. We appreciate you, ma. I want to appreciate our honorables in the house one more time. My question goes like this, and all Biafrans, I want to appreciate everyone that has held on till now. God bless all of us. I stepped out a little bit. I wasn't sure. I didn't know that they had put a limit. I mean, on how many people should talk. So you need to pardon me. I just had this burden in my heart regarding my department. It's a big department. That's why we are up to, like, we were initially up to 4 women. but I've been trying so hard. A lot of people are busy. One of them, like, is supposed to be in the women affairs, is not really available for us. So my question is, how do I get a hold? Is there anything, any suggestion, any of us, any of the honorables in the house, or who is concerned could help me with, because I need to recruit women leaders in the 40 states that could help us, because I have been able to recruit as one in Idungibum, and I have two ladies in Lagos, but one of them is like, oh, since there's no pay to it, they are just back.
Wadaloli neno from Igbo media boy by si wale utenu nyabuzi dio kempa basta back yene bena Nigeria and yene mene be di chiche na Eastern region and uno no kosi adana Finland and Biafran Prime Minister Kesi Jidia the update and the Yabo Biafran declaration came in Finland so yene na kaya aine utenu niru akwụkwọ kifi wale ikwu basta maka yabo iye chief of staff gasi niru akwụkwọ yene boro gasi aka and the new development on Biafra of United States of Biafra so ya be ife ka isi ka tiye do no kono kwa ifunche no den kono basta maka ya be ife ngwa dado din